Sai ja gaba. Ja gaba shine gaba. Mu da Allah mu ne gaba. Ja gaba shine gaba. Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Ja gaba shine gaba. Ja gaban, ja gaban. Ja gaba shine gaba.
My name is Deji Doherty. I'm not a politician. I'm a businessman. If you understand the fact that Yoruba says a rich man in the midst of 100 poor men is just the head of poor people. So when it's election period, your interest must be there to think about who can serve the people, who can really deliver to the people. For the people that we have right now, as a matter of fact, in the entire country, when it comes to this issue, I have not been able to see anyone that can deliver what we need in this country better than Asiwaju, Bola, Ahmed, Tinubu. And I have my reasons, a whole lot of reasons. Currently, Nigeria needs somebody that understands governance seriously, and also someone that has high leadership quality. These two things for Asiwaju, for me, he has them in abundance. His leadership quality is extremely high. This is a man that you don't need to know him from anywhere before you benefit from his attributes. He takes everybody as an individual. When he sees you, he's able to tell your weaknesses and is there to find a way to encourage you to overcome your weaknesses and bring the best out of you. You see, when they talk about the people that he has brought up, he did not just bring up these people. He brought them up from, practically nowhere, from no leadership attributes anyway. And he turned them to leaders that today Nigerians reckon with. So, this is one of the reasons why Asiwaju is a man to go with. The case of our former vice president, Alhaji Abubakar Atiku, is a man I respect a lot. He's done so well for himself. In the business world, he's done very well for himself. He was in the customs service. But I remember vividly, very, very, very vividly, I think it was when Asiwaju turned 60 or 65, one of his birthday. Considering what transpired between the two of them, which I am privy to some point, Atiku Abubakar came on the newspaper, his birthday wish message for Asiwaju. He actually called him the Asiwaju of Nigerian democracy. That's a recognition of his mentorship status. So I don't know, a man that you have seen to be your master, when it now comes to contesting against such a man, it looks like you're just wasting your time. And you can see the acceptability of Asiwaju all over the place. Everywhere he goes, he is accepted. He's not sharing money. People love him because of the kind of person that he is. No one comes, across him and you go back the same way. Even the words he says to you, they are words that speaks volume. You also talk about our Mr. Peter Obi. He's also a man that has done so well for himself, where his records in Anambra State speaks a lot of volume. He's done well for himself. He's been chairman of various banks. His educational pedigree is high. But for anybody in this country today, when you see the performance of people like Babatunde Raji Fashola, you see the performance of Ambode when he was governor in Lagos, you find out that Peter Obi needs to first of all tell us that he's better than these people before you start thinking of coming in line with Asiwaju, who is actually their godfather. I ask people, if these three people, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, and Mr. Peter Obi, if they are banks on their own, where will I feel safe to keep my money? I don't need to think. I'm not a stupid man. When Asiwaju invested 2 billion naira of Nigerian money in Econet then, we all saw the result of it. He's a man that takes little and brings out a lot from it. The Lasu Iba Road, the Gondo Road, was constructed under his government that was starved of massive funds. When he told the Lagos State House of Assembly then that he was going to do those roads before his tenure ends, everybody thought, what is this man talking about? Where is that kind of money going to come from? But he did it, and he did it well, and those roads have stood the test of time. So, I mean, this is the kind of man that we need right now. If he goes into a crowd of people, he knows how to calm them down. So I'm sure he knows what to do. He will be able to handle the militants, the bandits all over the place. He will be able to deal with them. He doesn't go around priding himself as a big man or something. He brings himself to the level of people. So these things are just more than enough for us to conclude that, look, let's leave it for him. Let him do it. By the time he does the first 4 years, even people wishing him death will start wishing he doesn't die again. That I am very sure of. His health status has been like that since 1999. He's been healthy. Me, a 55-year-old man, cannot undertake the trips he has taken in the last 2 months. I can't do it. He's in the air for most part of the day. He's talking to people in different meetings. And then because he mixes his steps once in a while, people say he's staggering. He doesn't have... A 55-year-old man, I stagger sometimes when I go to 2-3 hours of stress. So what are we talking about? And by the way, are we God? Buhari's health was very bad when he started, but he's done 8 years right now in our eyes. And he did well as far as some of us is concerned, because in infrastructure, he's taking Nigeria out of the doldrum. We are right now happy that at least we have some roads to use. Yes, people are saying economically Nigeria has not done well. Well, maybe that is why God is now giving us an Asiwaju who is very sound economically. Very, very sound economically. His vote is actually for the masses. I'll tell you, when he was governor in Lagos State, he would call the little boys together and ask them, how are the people on the streets feeling? He will ask us, what are they going through? What is happening? What do we think he can do to ameliorate people's suffering? Those people are more important to him than Asiwaju will take from the high and mighty to feed the poor. He's used to that. That's his style of leadership. He will get, I'm sure, I won't be surprised if he ends up getting some of us to pay more tax so that the poor can get more services. I am not standing with him because I'm not even looking up to benefiting anything, but seeing Nigerians smile once again, the masses stands to benefit a lot from him. I can assure you that. Lagos is not as big as the 36 states of Nigeria. But don't forget that he doesn't require too far much more energy that he dissipated in Lagos to bring Lagos to where it is today than to do this. He's not going to walk alone. He's a man of men. He's a man that knows capable men, the people. He gets the round peg into round holes, and then he tells them, this is what I want, and they go ahead and do it. He gives instructions and he follows his instructions. He calls you up in the middle of the night to ask you how far with what you're supposed to do. You can't walk with him and be sleeping. It's not possible because he doesn't even sleep. He goes to bed at 4 a.m. and by 7 he's answering his phone calls. He's been doing this all his life, even as he started Omooba. So, covering 36, even 37 states, I'm sure it's not going to be an issue. It's not going to be an issue. It will just be a way of actually getting him to do the best he can. I think Nigerians should look forward to getting the best out of him before he eventually joins his ancestors. But we have him to help us sort out this country right now. Nigeria needs to be sorted out. That's an aspect that I have always laughed about when people say it, Emilokon. You see, that it tells you the kind of person that Asiwaju is. Wherever he is at home. For a normal Yoruba person, you know the word Emilokon is a word you will use when you are with your own people. He didn't see himself talking to anybody that is out of normal. He was just talking to his own people that, Abikilero, let me go and fix this thing. I can do it, and you all know I can do it. So, it's not, and then it's also a term that it shows your level of confidence. You know you are accepted by people. It's not, nobody, I mean, you can imagine that a lot of us, which includes me, we even have, today we have t-shirts made out of Emilokon. We have caps made out of Emilokon. Because, like someone said, Shifolushe Obasanjo, he said, another word has been added to the Yoruba vocabulary, Emilokon. It's a word used to tell the level of what needs to be done. Let me go and do it. That's what it's just saying. There's nothing about it. And as far as I'm concerned, Asiwaju is not a one ethnic man. If you go around him, the major people that works in his house, Friday, you hear different people. They are all over. Hausas are there. The Director General of TSO has been with Asiwaju for over 20 years. He's a pure Hausa man, Aminu Sulaiman. All these people, he's had them all with him. He's a Nigerian to the core. He believes in Nigeria. He's one of the very few people that believes in Nigeria. Those people that lived around him in Chicago, they will tell you it stands for everybody. It stands for everyone. So, to tie him to the Yoruba is just another way of trying to call a dog a bad name so you can nail him. When he was the governor of Lagos State, the current cabinet, you have Hausas. A lot of non-indigens are in the civil service of Lagos right now. So, Lagos is cosmopolitan, and that is the way he sees it. He carries everybody along. Once Asiwaju identifies that you have something to offer, your tribe is secondary. Look at this one-day governor thing. We've had some of them that are Igbos. I think it was only one of them that was Yoruba in his 8 years. So, what are we talking about? Let's not bother ourselves about those things that people say. Yes, it's democracy. There must be varying acceptance. Everybody doesn't have to accept him, but the majority of the people are with him, and I'm assuring Nigerians that they will get the best out of him. Nigerian youths are set to get the best right now. Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu is a man that serves everybody. He loves the youth. You see, he goes out, he's driving out, he sees the youths anywhere gathered. You see him hopping out of his vehicle to try and talk to them. make them feel accepted, tell them lovely things. He does the same thing with the aged. He goes to the old, he goes to the young, he goes to the middle age. And I should just let Nigerians know that they are going to see a different kind of, after Asiwaju's presidency, Nigeria won't have a reason to go back again, because he will become the definition of presidency in Nigeria.
Sai ja gaba shine gaba.